Let's punch it here. A little torque steer there. Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to this 2020 Ford Edge. This is in the top dog titanium trim level, and it is only in two-wheel drive. Now, we've been using this 2020 Ford Edge for an epic road trip around the Southwest. We have 4 adults and all of our gear. We've been visiting places like the Grand Canyon and Page, Arizona, and today coming to you from beautiful Sedona, Arizona. Now, we are in the middle of monsoon season, so we've driven this Edge through all kinds of crazy rains and hot weather, and it's been an excellent trip companion. Now, if you've ever rented a standard size SUV, the Ford Edge is always in the rental lots, and I've always avoided them, but this time when we tried to throw all of our luggage in the back and we had 4 of us and everybody hopped in and said, wow, this is really, really spacious, we grabbed the Ford Edge. Now, Ford is coming to the end of the road of this car. Apparently, they will not make it anymore. Apparently, you have the new Escape and Bronco, and you have the Explorer, and they got rid of the Fusion, and they're going to get rid of the Edge and sort of combine the Edge and Fusion to fill that gap into a crossover based on a raised Fusion. So that will be pretty interesting. But over the years, Ford has really moved a lot of these Edges. They have huge fleet sales. They've slowly over time have upgraded this Edge, and it really has aged gracefully. And I have to say, after driving it for over 1,000 miles and just in all kinds of conditions, I have very few complaints. This thing has proven to be quiet and comfortable and just eats up highway miles very silently and just with a huge amount of comfort. So let's go ahead and hop out and take a look at the outside. So I've never been one to really be fond of the Ford Edge shape. They've never really changed it. It's been the same shape of this thing for, I don't know, going back to the early 2000s. Now, this specific titanium trim we have here is in black, which looks really good. I'm not really a big fan of black cars, but when you get this nice chrome trim and those 19-inch really nice looking rims on this thing, it really makes it for an elegant look. But overall, the shape I've never been a big fan. However, when you live with this car, you kind of realize some things about the shape that are really functional. First of all, these doors are just massive and makes entry and exit into here really easy for your passengers. Same thing with the front doors, just massive step in and ease of getting into this car. And the other thing this car has is a very short front hood, and that makes it really nice to see over and when you're driving. Now, interesting, when we were driving at very high speeds, say 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, I've never seen a hood flutter like this one, so not sure if it's something with this one or it's a common thing. You have your dual exhaust back here, and here's this is the reason why this thing is so well liked, and that's this massive storage compartment. You have your powered drop of these seats. Again, that's a very nice feature you don't see in a lot of cars. Very quick opening tailgate. But the other nice thing is you do have the easy opening keyless button on the rear doors too, which is very nice. Again, this is one of the things that have made this such a nice road trip car. It's just hopping into this back seat. The back seat passengers really have enjoyed sitting back here during this time. You do have your air vents. You also have heated seats, which has actually been very useful in these monsoon rains where the temperature drops and you get a little wet. There is no USB-C, but you do get a 120 volt and your standard 12 volt. Yeah, just very comfortable back seat. Ford Edge also gives you this massive sunroof, which also makes this just a nice touring vehicle for your passengers. Again, everything about this thing is really comfortable. You also get lumbar, full power passenger seat. Again, Ford has really said we're going to make your passengers as comfortable as the driver. Under the hood, this is one of my favorite 2-liter engines. Sounds like a piece of junk right now, but man, this thing is smooth and quiet. 250 horsepower, 280 foot-pound-feet of torque. This is a very, very heavy vehicle, but this Edge, this 2-liter has been moving it very, very well. Now this interior, it is dated. However, for such a dated interior, it is aged very, very well. The screen is small, the resolution is not very good, but Apple CarPlay just hooks up so fast with this thing and easy. Very incredible amount of storage, although you do have this silly thing which you kind of have to get rid of to get down into here, but just great storage. A lot of piano black right here, but this whole area just falls really, really nice. Everything in here is, I think, built pretty well, put together well. Everything you touch is very nice. This instrument cluster is just, there's nothing, it's just old. We keep this left screen on our fuel economy, and that's about it as far as the screen adjustments that we've done. Feature wise, this thing comes with a lot of interesting stuff. You get this power driving steering wheel, you get heated, the cooled seats work really well. And the other thing about this interior, or just driving it over all the weather, is the air conditioning is just phenomenal in this car. We've been in 110-degree heat, and it has cooled this cabin down with this black interior. Even with the sunroof open, it just works really, really well. The other thing this thing has is a very good stereo system. You got decent puddle lights, you got ambient lighting in here. This car comes with the full safety suite of adaptive cruise, lane departure, all that good stuff, all kinds of parking sensors on it, so that's been really, really good. And over the week, this car has proved, these seats have proven to be very, very comfortable. So let's just take a quick spin. Drive, I got to have the backup camera. You can see there is trajectory there. Let's punch it here. A little torque steer there. All right, so just a little few things about this driving experience in this Edge, and that is, I don't have really a lot to complain about. Again, the 2-liter that Ford makes, they also put it in the Bronco Sport. They put it in a lot of their vehicles, like the Titanium Escape. It moves this very, very heavy Edge around fairly comfortably. I wouldn't say it's fast, but it never seems to strain. It regardless of the gear that the 8-speed is in, it just pulls fairly well. There's been absolutely no issues with the engine pulling this car around at all. It works well. Again, I am kind of a 2-liter fanboy of the Ford engine here, but the other thing is that it is really, really quiet. They've really isolated the engine noise in this car, and it just is a really, really serene. I don't have the binaurals going, mainly because there's really nothing to hear in this car when you're driving it. It's a very, very quiet cabin in here. Ford has really gone to lengths to isolate the cabin, which makes it a really, really great car to take a trip in. Now, handling wise, for what this is, it's very, very confident. The steering has a nice weighting to it. Overall, it's a very confident handling car. Now, I contrast this to the Ford Escape Titanium that we just spent time in, and there may be a video out on that right now, or it's coming. And the handling in that, with almost zero steering feel, with way too light steering, this actually is a much more preferable car to drive on roads like this versus the titanium in the or the Ford Escape, simply because it just feels more confident. You're not going to hustle through these turns with any trepidation like I experienced in the Escape. Transmission wise, it's an 8-speed. It's an 8-speed transmission. It doesn't do anything great, it doesn't do anything bad. It downshifts, upshifts smooth, and it just does its job. Now, we've had this out on the highway quite a bit, cruising 70, 80, 85 miles per hour, and that is where this car really comes into its own, because there's no wind noise. The road noise is really isolated. This has just been about one of the most comfortable car to take a trip in. Let's just talk about the downside of this car, and I can't find a whole lot to complain about. It's kind of interesting. If I had to complain about something, and that is the ride quality, this thing will punish you over bumps and harsh pavement. It's just really it'll just beat you up a little bit. It's just rather stiff. Now the benefit of that is you do get this confident handling. The other thing that's been very nice about driving this car out on the highway has been this stereo system. If you like to listen to music while you eat up your highway miles, this has been very good, because again, the cabin has been so quiet and it lets you really enjoy. You don't even have to turn the music up to hear the highs and the lows. It's a really good Bang & Olufsen system. The speakers are really distributed well around the cockpit. I don't like this A-pillar area here. I found that this has been a very this can obstruct your view. It's a very thick area down here. Now, the one thing I will state that has been maybe disappointing, but I don't think you're really getting one of these cars to get super duper fuel economy. We've over 1,000 miles of highway. We've been barely able to squeak out 25 miles per gallon of what I would say 90% highway driving. But again, you're not expecting great fuel economy in this thing. The 2-liter has just been really good. So maybe fuel economy, ride quality, a few creaks here and there. This specific model has 30,000 miles on it, and yeah, it seems to be aging well. And the brakes are very confident. So no, this is no BMW X3. It's not, but I would say Ford has given this a very enjoyable driving personality. Again, these are rental car fleet mainstays, and by that, this thing is going to hit. These are on the used market in quite a big numbers, and I think that's where I would sort of sit this thing. I'd sit this as a used car buy. One of the things, if you're looking at a Ford Escape or a Bronco in titanium, right around that $35,000 mark, I would really throw a used, very well equipped Edge into the mix there. Don't take it off your shopping list. It is just so much more substantial of a vehicle over something like an Escape. The only thing the Escape is going to give you is a better ride. You're not going to get much better gas mileage if you opt for the 2-liter in the Escape. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick spin in this 2020 Ford Edge. Thanks for watching. If you own one of these, we would love to hear your experience with reliability and how you're enjoying it, and just your overall thoughts in general, as we love to talk and interact about cars. So thanks again, and have a great day, morning or evening, wherever you are.